I was always raised as a Christian, like my whole life. I would have said I was a Christian, but I was definitely not living the Christian life. When I reached about the age of 16, I was really starting to come away from the church. Just society was telling me that it was stupid, that God wasn't real, and I sort of started to believe in it. I kind of told my parents I didn't want to go to church. They still tried to make me, but I was really resistant. I just didn't want anything to do with that place, and I'd basically just sit there and stew during the services. I found them boring, and I hated it. My life just wasn't in a very good place at that time. I was just doing the wrong things, hanging out probably with the wrong people, just doing that teenager stuff where they just go out and they party and they just act stupidly. One night I was at a party and I'd had a really bad day at work, and I told myself I wasn't going to drink very much, but I ended up getting really drunk and it was just horrible. Halfway through the night though, the girl's place that was at, her mum came down and said, "Sarah, we've got to get you home. Your mum can look after you." And I said, no, I can't go home. I'm a Christian. My mum's a Christian. I can't go home like this. And at the time, I didn't realise just what those words meant, but the next day I just woke up and I was just so guilty. I felt really bad, but it wasn't just the massive hangover. It was just the shame that I felt, the guilt, because I call myself a Christian, but I was just not living like I should. So the next day I went to church. It wasn't particularly because I felt that I had to get right with God, but because my brother, Stephen, he'd just come back from Vanuatu and they were having a special service. So I went along, and it's just, the presence of God was there. I didn't know it at the time. I just thought I was feeling particularly bad with my hangover, but it was real, and something was happening, and it was just, I just felt like crying the whole service. When the altar call came, I just knew I had to go up. I just knew that I had to go and get my heart right before God. I had to give my life to Him and just have my salvation. It was just so perfect, and I was just bawling my eyes out by that point. I was just in tears. My whole family was behind me just while Andrew was leading me in the salvation prayer, and it was a very emotional time. I've changed for the better since becoming a Christian. I'm just happier. I don't feel alone. I don't feel I used to be really analytical, like self-analytical, and just tearing myself down, and now I just don't do that. My mind is just much more peaceful. I have some great friends. I just love it. I love church and I love God. It's great.